Hi, welcome to Blossom Your Creativity. My name is Debbie, and I'm so happy you stopped by for a visit. On my channel, I like to do DIYs, and I love to do faux foods. This is your kind of jam. You're in the right place, so we can be creative together. Now, if you like what I'm doing, please leave me a thumbs up, comment, and share. And if you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for? It's free. Simply hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified for new videos. So let's get started and craft away. Today I'm doing a collaboration with some wonderful friends, and we'll talk about that later on in the video. So here I'm starting off with some air dry clay. It's from Glitz and Glue. She's a channel over on Facebook that I follow, and this clay is so easy to work with, and so I'm just loving it. This is my first time using it. I usually use the Model Magic. So here I am just going to be using some cookie cutters because, of course, this is a faux foods challenge or collaboration, and I just love making faux foods. So here I just pulled out my heart, and now I'm going to put it on some parchment paper so it doesn't stick to my table, and I'll just continue to pull out more of the clay, and I'm going to condition it. So you see I'm pulling it apart like taffy, and you want it to be very elastic so that it will not crack or roll on you. So I'm just simply rolling it out. It is quite wet, so there is a little bit of difficulty for me to get the clay out of my molds once I my cookie cutters. You see I'm pushing it, so then I have to just put it back into shape, but it's okay, it all works out. So I'm just making sure I get all of my cookies all cut out, and then I'll show you all the different types of designs with these different cookies that I'm going to make. Now, I also wanted to compare the two different girls that I follow, and the purple one is from Yanera, also on YouTube, and I'm using hers as well, and it's very similar in the fact that it's very easy to work with. So I'm going to use my pink and my purple, and again, this is a little bit on the wet side, so it's kind of hard to get out of the molds. I did try to put the molds in the freezer, hoping that would help, but it did not. So I've been told to let the clay maybe get a little less moist and then it should work. I haven't tried that yet. This again is my first time using both clays, and very similar, but I'm pretty happy with them. Okay, so now once I get all of my cutouts done, I have to let them dry overnight. They're very lightweight once they dry. Now I'm going to show you all the different things that I'm going to use, and some of the paint might change a little bit. But I had all these different ideas, so I just put everything out there on my cookie sheet showing you what I have. I have that spackle. I'm going to put white paint in it. I have a pastry bag with a little tip. And I got those tips from Amazon. They're not that greatest, and here's that Fast and Final spackle. It's lightweight spackle, so make sure you get that one. And then here I am adding the white paint to it, because once you add white paint, it's going to adhere a little bit better to whatever project. All right, so cookie number 1, and these are the bigger hearts that I'm doing, and I used the little, what do you call those, window clings. I got those, I think the Dollar Tree, I'm not sure, maybe 99-cent store. So I'm just gluing them to the clay with this tacky glue because I need to be able to adhere to the clay. Now, because it's already dry, you do have to use some type of adhesive. So now I have my faux whip inside my pastry bag. That is just the lightweight spackle mixed with the white paint. And now I'm just trying to make a design around the window cling. Now let me just tell you that these little tips, they're not the greatest. They do not, they're probably from China. I don't know, but they're not good. So you really need to get the Wilton tips. I just didn't want to spend the money for Wilton tips if I'm going to use it for faux foods. But I'm thinking I probably need to. So now I'm just using the end of a skewer stick just to kind of move the full whip where I want it to be. And then now I'm going to do a layer around the edge of the cookie. And so that gives me, like a 3D effect. So I'm going to go around and put that together, and you have to be careful because it's wet, so you don't want to touch it. And again, you see there's a lot of inconsistencies. That tip is not very good at all. So I just use the skewer stick, like I said, and that works out okay. Now I just wanted to let you know, if you've never used spackle, once you're done, if you still have some left over in the bowl, then you just use an airtight container and it'll stay good, for at least a month, because that's how long I've had this one in my bowl. Now when you're cleaning your tip, you need to do it outside. Don't put any of this down your sink because, think about it, it's going to harden and then it's going to clog up your plumbing. So you don't want to ruin your plumbing. So there's the first one, and I'm going to do the second one exactly the same off camera. You don't need to see me do it twice. And because I got a little spackle on my window cling, I'm just taking a wet Q-tip, and I'm just cleaning that off. Now I'm adding my fake sprinkles. Don't use real ones because it'll attract bugs. And I got these sprinkles off of Etsy. I believe it was called Play Code 3. That's normally where I get them. Or Annie's Treasures. Those two I use or I purchase from frequently. So I'm using just little tweezers to put it on. So it's very time consuming because I let the faux whip dry too much. You got to do it right away because it needs to adhere. So once you get the sprinkles on, you just want to push them down into the faux whip, and then once it dries, it's good. It's not going to come off. And here's both of them, and you'll see it in the final reveal. All right, so this is the fake Sweets collab. Our host is Kiki from Kiki's DIYs and Tammie from Happiness Created. And the co-host is Tammie from the Rusted Willow. And I have a whole list of awesome creators who participated in this collaboration. So I have linked their channels in the description box. So please, please, please go over and check out what they did. All right, cookie number 2. So I took the medium size hearts and I was going to add the smaller hearts on top. But as I looked at it, it was too high. So I'm going to take these wooden cutouts. I believe I got them from Hobby Lobby, and I did paint them with a pale pink. And I'm just crazy gluing them to the clay heart. Like I said, once your clay dries, you have to use some kind of adhesive product to attach to it. If it's wet, then you have a better chance of it sticking. All right, so now I wasn't sure what to do because, at the last minute I changed my plan. So here I am just using this dimensional paint. I'm not sure why I did this because now I'm going to just cover it up with glitter. So I could have just did Mod Podge, but I had already done it. I changed my mind at the last minute. So it didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to, but it's still, in the end, I made it work. So you'll see as I go on, I'll just add some glitter, and then you'll see this in the final reveal with the rest of my cookies. cookie number 3. So this is the medium size heart, and I put some faux whip just around the edge of it, and I'm now going to add just a little bit of glitter if I get my arms out of the way. So I have this pink glitter I'm just adding, and I was going to put something inside the middle, but then I decided no, it was fine, and then I said no, it looks too plain, so I'm just using some tacky glue, putting it on with a little bit or with a paintbrush, and then now I'm adding the pink glitter inside the middle. Oh my goodness. Number 4, tried to do the same thing, but the tip was just misbehaving, so I just decided let's try it another way, and then I just did a smearing of the faux whip, which came out really messy. But if you have a wet little towelette and you just wipe it off, it'll come right off the clay. So you can see I was able to save my cookie. So it turned out I actually like this way better, because that tip was driving me absolutely nuts. So then I have these faux sprinkles that I got from Playco 3, I believe, and from Etsy. And then this one, because it was so wet, I just sprinkled it on, and most of them stayed on there. And then once I got all of my little candy hearts in place, then I'm just going to add a little bit of glitter, because glitter makes everything better. You could make that look like sugared candied sugar or whatever you call it. But anyway, so I added that, and you will see it in the final reveal. All right, so I decided to try macaroons using that same clay. I'm just rolling it out, and you see I have my little round cookie cutters, biscuit cutters, I don't know what you call them, but you see how that clay is just really very elastic. So you want that, and here I'm just making all of my rounds, and then I will have to make the little feet. And if you're not familiar with macaroons, they have a distinct little, they call it the foot of the macaroon, and you have to kind of in half of the way of the cookie you want to create this, they call it a foot. So I'm just using the little tool there. I'm making little dots in between, and then I will go through and kind of push down the clay, and there you go, you could see it, and it kind of makes this indentation, and so that's what they call the foot. And you do that on both the bottom cookie and the top cookie. And then once I get that, again, it's my first time, so I'm hoping I did a good job. I kind of looked at a picture, and it's not exactly, but this is a fake bake. It doesn't have to be exact, just similar. And so the little purple one in the middle there, that's going to be my filling part, and you don't have to do anything with that. I did want to roll it out a little bit more because I wanted it to be like a filling part where you can really see it instead of being tiny like it was. So once I did that, I stuck it together. I didn't have to put any adhesive because it's still wet and it will adhere to itself. And I think they turn out really good. You'll see them in the final reveal. All right, so now it's cupcake time. All right, so I'm going to take this cupcake liner, and I have that little cup, like a disposable cup, and I'm just outlining the top of the cupcake liner using just a mailer that you get in the mail, and I'm going to attach that to the inverted cup, and you see I'm doing that there. So I need to make the hole so that I can slip that piece of cardboard down over the top of the cup, of the inverted cup. And this will give me a seal, so it looks like there's cupcake underneath, but there's really not because it's a faux cupcake, right? So I'm going to, once I get the cardboard where I want it from the mailer, then I'm going to go ahead and hot glue the little cup inside the cupcake liner, and then I can start building my faux cupcake. Now, because there was a little gap, I'm just adding a little bit of hot glue. I just don't want my faux whip to go beyond that bottom piece that I created. And so now with that same tip, I'm going to go ahead and apply the faux whip. Now this one works out good only because I am making layers upon layers, so it's good, it's working good for me, and I'm very happy with it. So once I have my faux whip on there, now I'm going to go ahead and add some more little faux sprinkles, again from Etsy, and these ones are cute little flowers made out of the top part of the flower is a heart, and it's really cute. And so here I am, some sprinkles stay on because the faux whip is wet, and then you just use a little tool to push it down into the faux whip. And then I had these two little envelope looking things, and I put those on there, and then I had some of those little ball sprinkles, and I put those as well. And every time you put a sprinkle, you want to push it down just slightly into the faux whip so it'll stay. And now I'm adding what's called diamond dust, and that is cut glass, and it just really shines in the light. And now I'm taking these little heart shape, I don't know, they were on a clippy, and I took that off, and now I'm going to put that on the very top, and then just put a little bit of faux whip right on top of that, and then add a little glitter, and my faux cupcake, it will be completed. And you'll see this in the final reveal with all of my other fantastic fake bakes. All right, you made it to the final reveal. So here I've just staged my items with some old-fashioned rolling pin and cookie cutters and a sifter, and I just thought that would be cute to display. I made that little sweet sign in a previous video, and so here I'm just displaying my individual cookies, what they look like, and then I will show you what they all look like together. I really like how all of these turned out, and I want you guys to tell me in the comments which one was your favorite and which one do you think you would try, because the whole point of this channel is to inspire you to blossom your creativity as well. And look at that cute little tea tray. I put all of my sweets on it. It's so cute. I just love how it's displayed. And I used just some paper from Hobby Lobby to line my little tray. And I'm in love with this. I hope you guys think the same. I want to thank Kiki, Tammie, and Tammie, and the rest of my awesome fellow creators who are participating in this collaboration. This was lots of fun, and I can't wait to do this again soon. So if you haven't already been over to their channels, please go over and check out everyone in the playlist. And I have added their link to my description box, and make sure you say hello and that you came from my page. And I hope you guys have an awesome and blessed day and keep crafting. Bye bye.